Yamamu nyina ha emma kwa ba United Television so eni ye worship house Abeka Junction enkran ebra so sekase aboabo no awie seprem to breka se ebo no ye de ni nyina emma mo eye ahwen live DSTV channel 360 neti ensem ne bi ewo ho kame ho ya se da bebre ewom eko e de ama this way chocolate drink de wo hia hey enso hie papa eno an se odi agum na chese wo bon guna na ekoyi emma nipadua no have your special eyes ensupa ewo ejaso ensuo na ede se ensuo etiapo eno a ene ye de esoma hoho ede kan kase no ede emamo ye kwasika fam dia best point savings and loans enie na best assurance nso abonichidom tibre bia no ye ho den na ejina na so esanse ye wo ochigina for papa ewo sika afem enmekwen adaroma ye de nsem no eba memamu nyina akoaba ede bakase eso okenkan for eyeme Obahima efiachre na mekenkan ensem no amamom yentie ensem no enhwemwe Ghana yani India Prime Minister Narendra Modi ni nhyiamudi a edinkan a ode aba oman Ghana nenu no memorandum of understanding bebre na chese omampanyi agina oman anemo ede ninsa ahyehye ase ne fa bi ehwe apomoden afi amamre ne amane ho nsem eso enhye mapade begu akwan so beboa ama enweku akese agina ne nan so wo Ghana ene India nyina mpanyifo na hwe etu ho anamo
engagements. We have had a number of memoranda of understanding have been signed between Ghana and India to give impetus to our commitment and aspirations for sustained and enhanced cooperation. And these include the Memorandum of Understanding on the establishment of a permanent joint commission between our two countries, the Memorandum of Understanding between the Institute of Traditional and Alternative Medicine and the University of Health and Allied Sciences in Ho, Ghana, and the Institute of Teaching and Research in Ayurveda, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. We've also signed an MOU on cultural exchange between our two countries, and also an MOU between the Bureau of India Standards and the Ghana Standards Authority. Following consultations between our Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Indian High Commissioner, we also have requested the signing of MOUs on vaccine manufacture and production, MOU on supply of agricultural machinery and implements, and an MOU on defense cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, this visit could not have happened at a better time as government is committed to pursuing its reset agenda to provide the needed support to the Ghanaian people. Government will therefore leverage on its relationship with like-minded countries such as India to achieve our set objectives. Both countries will work to deepen economic and investment relations at a time that Ghana is undergoing economic restructuring due to the debt treatment we're undergoing and the IMF program. Going forward, Ghana and India intend to pursue these engagements through diplomatic mechanisms, including Foreign Office consultations with each other, as well as the Permanent Joint Commission for Cooperation, to give effect to the intended outcomes of our engagement for mutual benefit.
Yadaswa India Prime Minister Ninsashe emu enne wakopiem ewo Ghana mrashebedwem na Prime Minister Narendra Modi ensasha edin kan wo mrashebedwem no ya mane bofo Prince akwa ewo ho enti de course bia no yenye ewo ho be me na mahai
owa pa Joseph
bibi aboko mrashebedwem
na me adom bibi aboko wa ndidi samoso ho yo
yankopon adom ho ye pa ensem be ne si wo mrashebedwem ne yenche
owa yema Ghana fo nyina akwa ba mepiem wo United Television so na yansa ne beko yansa no so no ebrenti mamene Yura Ricket Kwaku Hagan ono the deputy majority leader enim omo enfano opani mema oba ye no ho study be ya ahokeka ne ani gisem a omo nyina omo susu o ha no me leader we dey memo akwa ba dey
yo mi na mejo so yeah we be afa atadwa today bia na me na me hu ni se de na papa ne ba na oba no se bio pastor pe ne bitumi aba o man Ghana na moti se oba kra no leadership muso
yo me na say and the say the Indian Prime Minister Modi we are simwa a head of state Akasio Moviasia is one of them. And India, one of the largest countries with the largest population in the world. India, maybe 60, 70 years ago, I'm to say Ghana in terms of development. We know the history, but over the years, India developed upon by 2047, India will actually be a developed country. So these are the countries that we are looking forward to, as we also go on our journey. There's a lot of things we can do with India in terms of partnership. The business people in a buyer, give it to me and you go together. So his visit here is more of, if you can say, it's a political visit, obviously, because he came to meet the head of state, but it's more of an economic visit that will strengthen our two nations and our friendship much better on a commercial level than we have at the moment.
Let's some kind of India, the good leadership. On a year during Ghana, are you ready for that good leadership? Also leadership.
Well, we have a good leadership today. You need a good leadership. That is key. India Prime Minister also we need to know that we need a good leadership, because leadership drives everything. Leadership, never direction. When you're a leader, you give the wrong direction, your people will move the wrong way. If you give the right direction, your people will go the right way. So leadership is key. Leadership and institutions, that's what you need.
But okay. We Honorable Richard Boku Egan, Opani Deputy Majority Leader. Obapan Semina, Uriano Abobo, so said the young Pajuina, so say, Miss Mo Kainina, say, India, Kwakosunano, Ejina, the good leadership, and no, not the democracy, no, and also come on to turn us, say, the Aponia or was said, Kadmamin Cabin, Castabia said you answer and answer yes, or moody development be, and she said, a very big man at 2.1. And just like Kadmamin Cabin, no, be a Cassabi, not drain, nor the champion for a boom of them, and let you know. What I can say, you will say, Ocean Yon Kofa, Neda, or my Ghana, and in India, and Temuna, and Restanting, and yet, and net, and on the Busa Yon Kofano. Number say, Zion Kofano, a movie to me, I check now, Omojama Bibia, so I come. And some of the two Jano. But the top of woman is the
Prince Akwebema mo ene adwuma o.
That's a bit.
Your money before o see a name e o mrashebedwem Prince Akwa ono e na yete nkra efi na noi. Yenko ensemfofo emom. Osrofo hwa anwode ne ho nsem eso. Eye honorable John Jinapo. Asema ode etu dwanse Electricity Company of Ghana Ghana fanan enyina meters best opepem baako 1 million na wo mo de akọ emiamie bia eboa amachese ondwumedie atumi akọ nenan esopa.
Honorable Speaker, measures being adopted to mitigate illegal electricity connection and metering challenges to improve revenue efficiency. We've embarked on a loss reduction program which is part of the reforms being undertaken by ECG, among others, to reduce commercial losses, improve energy accounting through the installation of meter management systems, compliant repayment meters, specifically replacement of overaged and obsolete meters, replacement of faulty meters, and installation of new service connections. Under the loss reduction program, about 1 million meters have been installed already in order to ensure that we have accurate billing. These are smart meters that provide on-the-spot information so that we can reduce the losses the Honourable Member is talking about. We are also rerouting of concealed service tails and deployment of enhanced meter management systems. A total of about 1.2 million meter management systems have so far been installed as at the end of April 2025. In addition to this, ECG plans to install additional 2 million meters between 2025 and 2029 to be complemented by another 1 million, which is being rolled out in collaboration with the World Bank. The use of smart meters by itself, Mr. Speaker, does not automatically lead to reduction in losses. And so smart meters sometimes have challenges, and the human element is also being improved. We've given ECG some KPIs. Cabinet has also approved that all state institutions be put on prepayment meters or agree with ECG for a monthly billing and payment system. Only 4 institutions, the presidency, police service, the military, and education and hospitals, have been put in a different category. Even with them, they are supposed to pay for the light bills, except that they won't be on prepayment meters. HCG has also constituted some task force, and they are making progress. Because recently, you would have heard that some estates have been busted, and we are arranging them before court. I'm happy to announce that there have been some significant improvement in the revenue collection following these measures that we've put in place. Mr. Speaker, with these measures, we are confident that going forward, we would have improvement in revenue collection, reduce losses, and bring about overall efficiency as far as the electricity sector is concerned.
Yadaswa Honorable John Jinapona Kachi na de wochim ene se yekoyen energy sector anaya hodi ne FMA eka o mine de enfolda wo huhura na ehuru yekese say ejina 66 billion Ghana cedis.
We currently have a liability, that's legacy debt, of about 67 billion. 67 billion. Also, like I told you, a lot of the energy sector IPPs were not receiving even their current bills. So what we are doing is to improve the current billing and payment. And my colleague, former Deputy Minister is here. Even with this, it still doesn't pay all the bills. So we are making progress, but we still need to do a lot more in order to achieve maximum progress. This year, liquid fuels, which used not to be that high, because of increase in consumption, liquid fuels alone would total about $1.2 billion. And so without this levy, it means that the enormity of the challenge becomes quite serious. And so we definitely need that levy to support. As we improve and increase gas and we get to a level where we need to review, this government will be willing and ready to undertake the necessary review. The debt position of the energy sector, as at the end of 2024, stands at about $3.1 billion. And so if we require money to pay contractors, it stands at about $3.1 million. But when you add all suppliers and all obligations, it takes you to 67 billion cedis.
Okay, Kwe South Mrashebejani Honorable Ernest Adrumakon. Wasi odi yawo said the Ghana mebunu bi etu wani esi ni bone so omo ehwe na anopa awia ne anwumre no ha adwen ohun ne sese mpanyufo anhwa me yentu wana mo a emfa sempa emma entinka ye pem ko yenim ebra no ya yenye test ananso hwe emma emebunu no.
Sometimes we beat me friend boni bi no gina ho na wada enema first na yehu ayemem ene yehu na obi san so oman ye daache e wahefa intimidate na nka mesusu se aban se oye free education na yenyire nim se free education or how ene eka a de to oman economy so enya kaketwa enti sa de tie de abofra biala no se makwan na mo basuku a e wo se aban so ne a doctor for eyen hihye na omo basku ho na abofra biansa na benya kwan ure school ho no ye test umboja na hwese so afasa no boni bia wafa bi pe wo se ansesa aban ebon ho ka bi because ye dia ban sika na ehwe ye nhwe obi a da atina adwen no ebetimi asai da bi obi a no obepese obi investing on sai ni penim etibi de misusu ni sai Ministry of Education emfan kan hihye ho abofra bia ebe school a ye ntesi ni moja sai hwese onkono nom saa inuboni bia na obi a onom bi no na ye nyini free school mu na se private school dia na wo for emfananko because aban ntimi sika entua wo school fees na afi nkono nom inuboni emma mese wadwene na ensambe ye how na oman so na media minya akra anka enko ye nto so school su eye universities no so because ni nyina no aban so ebo mo ka na mofra ne brano no omo basku yen test mu mogyanhwe na afin so no wo be ya wo national service nso a eno nso aban aban nyuma ni mu a e wo se won so ne test mu mogyanhwe said de be ya e be man kran aye responsible no mun fan kononom sa ni boni fan se o mabrabo because se aban ye san hihye ya eno so ma awofo no so atena si ye won se me ba no se ma na ntwene ho amfi ni boni ho a aban ntwa ni fees bi e be ma ye nyina no ye ni beba ya ho so na ya bre ni boni nom no ase amanfo ka so anka yan hwehwe omo a omudi hudwa na anka yan chichi omo ni ade eno kore omo omudi hudwa no so omo de ba na omunyo obi amane nto a so omo so mfa ma bi enti no omo nom no ene ye mo make sure say omo mu use ne ba mo mogyan mra ebe fo so mogyan ne no because yan hwe yo mai dachi yan sabesi for bi omo free ene nyina ba be MPs emo free ne bi nyina ba be president emo free ne bi nyini aba be CEOs abade da nwuma no ababie nwuma nkrofa fa nwuma na yen panyufo no yen sinkete anhwe na se mo free dachi se ya na omane dachi ohenfa amanfo kekan se bebre wonnom a ema ye sei ema timi dwene ema ye sei ade timi se wadwene na timi ma wadwene ba medwu ho a mementi ase ene obi ho a okodidi a agese wanom sa ansa na wadidi no obusa won se usha na ya bofra ye de ni so na onom sa ansa na wadidi ade ntine na wanyini a wo banyina bobra opeso onom sa ansa na wadidi so enti anamode ye tu bebre anamode woni nipa kasa na se nipa se de panyifo kan nipa tse boaledo wan kusana obede obehye enti si amfa mre hihye ne mre bi anto ama nipa na hunu se se man twem ho afi nu bone ho a mi wie school kura na me kwa kopa ban be beka exam kwatwe mi moja ansa na manya ban adwuma se sa nu bone bu moja adwuma na minya ti basa obi a be dey ebe make sure se sa nu bone onko ho.
Court of Appeal Justice Bako Justice ya Onyame ye Jacobu. And wodi afutuo ma lawyer fo nyina se enewiase na ye kura ketekete global world. And na said ye ensesa no eba no. Wo kate wani tinie na edimbika. Enti a lawyer fo no emfa abefu kwan. Ene abefu mfidie enye adwuma. Emfa nwura wo mu dwumadie mo. Enye tetetete lembre bia ewu awie bi no lawyer ni gina ho eno an person di defend the case e be kwa wi ase ne ye die tia no na ne client no wantimi anko nanim kra e wase ne num ama no wo se yakoba ne sa emwa abafu niema abaide ye adwuma mfidie ni ade a lawyer fo no mpem ko manim eno be boa e wo dwumadi emo
opportunity not only for celebration but for introspection, learning and recommitment to the ideals of our noble profession. The theme for this year's Law Week, The Future Fit Lawyer, Embracing Technology, Entrepreneurship, Excellence, and Service to the Community, is both apt and forward-looking. It speaks to the changing landscape of legal practice, the evolving expectations of the public, and the pressing need for us as legal practitioners to adapt and remain relevant. The legal profession, like many others, is undergoing transformation at a rapid pace. Globalization, digital innovation, and evolving client needs are redefining the very fabric of legal service delivery. Today's clients expect not just legal soundness, but speed, efficiency, and the grasp of the wider business or social context within which they operate. The traditional image of a lawyer, surrounded by paper, confined to brick and mortar courtrooms, is giving way to a more dynamic, tech-savvy, multidisciplinary professional. This is the lawyer of the future, and indeed, the lawyer we must all begin to become. In line with this vision, the judiciary of Ghana is actively pursuing reforms aimed at modernizing justice delivery. Chief among these is the implementation and scaling up of the e-justice system. Through the e-justice platform, we have introduced electronic filing of court processes, automated course lists, electronic case tracking, and virtual hearings. These efforts are intended not only to improve administrative efficiency, but also to enhance transparency, reduce delays, and ultimately improve access to justice for all.
In the regions, they have had various activities. Some decided that when the council talked about a law week, they preferred their law week to start last week Monday and end with the Martyrs' Day. And then other regions also prefer to start from Martyrs' Day moving forward. But whichever way it was configured, it has come to stay. So we had regions going for excursions, we had health screening, we had sports. Interestingly, there was a football match, and the teams were injunction versus injection, because it was GBA versus lawyers versus doctors. So you bring the injunction, I'll bring the injunction.
National Chairman Oda Peace Council Governing Board ano Reverend Most Dr. Emmanuel Kofi Fiano. Womu bukompo ahwe afrase abaye to ye eniema anko yie wa abato no emo. Emu nsem enie. Akra ensia na womonam abato no emu ehwe wom enkwa. Eniema ye incidents ahoro bese eduoso ensia na esisi ye. Emu aduonu nan sakasaka esai ade. Si yagije eniema boso ewurukasam ene se yeto ahye abanyumeku akese ne nketo aso asai eniema ekoso ewo mpesu ahoro bebremu ewo memu wei afrase abato no echi ensem.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, although 132 suspects have been arrested so far, of which 45 were remanded in custody, 71 on police inquiry bail, and 16 on court bail, we must ask ourselves, why must elections in Ghana, a beacon of democracy in the sub-region, still result in violence and bloodshed? Despite commendable gains in democratic consolidation with peaceful transfer of power, judicial resolution of electoral disputes, and vibrant political pluralism, the persistence of election-related violence poses a serious threat to our national cohesion and democratic resilience. According to the 2025 Global Peace Index, Ghana ranks 61st globally and 7th in Africa with a score of 1.898. While this indicates that we remain one of the most peaceful nations on the continent, today, in 2025, it grieves me that I must once again acknowledge the painful fact that we lost 6 precious lives during the 2024 elections. These 6 Ghanaians who lost their lives are not just statistics. These are Ghanaians, fathers, brothers, sisters, and children with prospects who had the right to life. But their only misfortune was being caught in political tempests.
We said that every dollar that you invest in peace and prevention saves you $8 in cleaning up afterwards. So, other than the emotional and human value of preserving peace and having peaceful elections and having democratic societies, there is an economic argument to not pick confrontation over peace. And now is not a good time. This is a terrible time to be a prophet for peace, and I'm not one.
This meeting also reflects the long-standing and productive partnership between the UN and the National Peace Council, and I thank the Council and all stakeholders whose efforts have made this gathering possible. The 7 December 2024 general elections, Ghana's 9th since the return to multi-party democracy in 1992, were held amid economic challenges, political polarization, and heightened public scrutiny. And still, they were widely regarded as transparent, inclusive, and peaceful, reaffirming Ghana's reputation as a beacon, we've used that word a lot today, as a beacon of democracy and stability in West Africa.
Feed Ghana program NT, aban edi fertilizers bebro empem emiensa bags. Matuba Irrigation Farmers Cooperative say 1 year na won famwa ema atosode vegetables ni duano enso doso.
Ye ba be establish a farmer services center for cooperatives to access services. Into no say ye aba wo bedua fertilizer mo be gu ase chemical mo be bo spray any marketing ni nyina no aban edin hihye aba sesia no ehia say individual farmers na be kwa source for mo input no emom no aban the farmer services center no aba so mo ba be addresses our problems no into no issues of marketing be brass kakra and that is on the crop side and also no say in toast say ye meko say ye jene aban ede ehu aba no aba akra aba no aba a che say ye ba be support kuafo adwuma omodi no na ye nja ne ton so kra emfema kuafo no ye wo off takers anasa atofo ye ne ombe sign MOU ombe be to efi kuafo no ho. Another segment I know ye livestock side eye nkoko nkete program na ye ka ho asem no nkoko nkete no omo ye nkoko bia a new breed of nkoko ye from Croilers omo tomato omo so develop enam omo ba be replace ye local birds na ye wo no on say local birds ye ntumi enya time enhwe omo ye nti omo ntumi nyi enya nkese meet market demand in tentem. Into no special breed of nkokoi. No mobile eba augmented your local breeds, you know. Then no every individual be all interested, you know. Yeah, mano 30 fowls. Into no
projects. Now you see feed Ghana no. You cannot feed Ghana without farmers. And the farmers who here pa ye manifesto mu and say ye be shia wa ha ma be shia mu say de ye de ye okwa eye yie no they say fertilizer no ya ma 3,000 plus fertilizers so ye de be ma ye be cha amom and you bia o ha bia benya bi
to farmers who really thank them ye be da o ma se pa because this is the first time I nya fertilizer me menya 20 bags of fertilizer me de be ye efo bia
wo shaka sie e wo United Television eso ye wo ship house Abeka Junction enkran yeto ensem no so ne ye ko ahoma no eso lawyer Henry na kobna bwachi Nana B or national organizer Emma NPP amanyuko no na enura ye wo memu na Electoral Commission de betu dwase Ablekuma North aba yeto no afrase no ombesan ato hodie no ebio be rerane na NPP for che said that omobo enyo so mbe challenge enti yempe asem no enchemu Nana B UTV so ni mahai
ai ma me juso
bibi aboko de
tedi ampondare ma ordinance wa che
ye da nyankofo ase NPP mo stand ne sen muni Electoral Commission nyadwen
there be Electoral Commission adwen po a omode aba betu dwa no sebe etina kontompo so etina kununa so enyina mra bia so na ye di omho ya opa ne tie nyina ne se Electoral Commission nya ya na ye sebe ye di toku gina omo na ko parliament ebra court e ka se Electoral Commission enye coalition
ewo a year Tema Central, a year Techiman South, or Kankwi Central, any Ablikuma North. A year Electoral Commission, any police, a Kambumu, a Mometimaya Tema Central, a year of Kankwi Central, any Techiman South, in the Oka, Ablikuma North. Ablikuma North, the Ometimia, Yenina, Manakami and Sape. Empo, a year Deputy Commissioner, Dr. Bosman, called Parliament. Okoso aiche Parliament, Odin Chichi Munina, Pass, CAD. Oma ye coalition in every Manakami and Sape. The Miansan almost say police for Mumbo, no Muntimias coalition. Ave Yakoda sorry ya, here we are saying Ketia, Ekamobiate, or no dear, or who is a young Pamo Electoral Commission for Electoral Commission, Omojuman Sweni. Steron I am no Hunabiako Romo, Steron Akoye, if Humbia Abisho Mumu. Ave Yaha Modeka Taba Montaigne say, after the Yakwako to a banner for 19 police stations. Yan so yen circulation yen in area ama a year a clear every year and a nay wedding queen a war a year abattoir you go to Yenimu. In Tiene a sit down and electoral commission as I will catch and say yen san conquer to a banner 19 police stations. Nanya second crown say a year police stations me and some want to two gas and open a car or some campum no the car banner. A mummy no pet and a can 19 come the account. Nice about Conquacan away. What you say a woman to maybe no Macaque. A Yahubia and this is for a car say, be you may free on another room. Yan Tiasia Uchana. Sabi, way a Anajumana some. Wow, when you so be say, Mr. Kutaka ha. Yan the new patriotic parties are to let us on the 10th of June. And I'm responding, sir, cat omode and one way. Kuta Electoral Commission, Omoletawaha, 11th of June. Omuchre Muse, Cecia, the Oka paragraph 2 no Mokana. Almost a total of 34 police station results have been collated since the High Court directive. Currently, 3 polling stations are outstanding for the completion of collation process. Omwakatao, Yadibatuja, and Muama Kasasimui. 11th June. Na exide na musai etene etwa mo beka che yen konia san konkoto aba e 19 police stations mu. Eye hu bi na abomu ehunu na bi. Ana se anadwuma na se mu etie ye twi ho ye tiase. Ye ka ne se ye nya de ye betiase na ye betiase otena. Na se mu no ye court ene betimi e de akokodu akamu no kwe. San se we eye constituency a yen any patriotic party na no ka ya do me kwa benya ye kikesi eni aye hu se ye di nkugu no electoral commission di betu ya yen ka ho bia in fact no kwa electoral commission omode eye tally sheets kwa na omode ye sa collation wo na nye pink sheet kwa na omode ye enso ne ya kika ye di esi eni hu se ye di ntwo enti ya pre hu we ya kika ye man nyina esi eni am ye hu se ye di nkuni mo ho ama electoral commission ya so ba be ja tu se aka polling stations me nsape esi den and na mosan etene mo ebeto nyum foforo eri che Ghana fo Electoral Commission yesremo momma muni munyama wo no nka ho na se mo yese mo betwitwe ne fam a emwa mo esutu fanso no amo be den edi amamo yen tiase ya kafe ya lawyer for say yen kokot sa eye abana mo se beto ho ne de e anadwuma na sem eye sisibe enya de betiase
nana yen hwe ni say making kan other portals ni bi say sa results bi a mo de baye no na chese mo digina so say no nti ho aye den e wa Blakuma North no NDC for do na chese mo am nkofo na print mo agent ni bi na e print keke wa bekwa ne certify what it be sir
mami enya no creda ana me say Yewura Bosman ankasa ko parliament ene show video ni nya press conference na say Yewura Bosman ankasa ko parliament di ko tu cha say eye enkekambo ni kuntabu mbu yenya no mbu ni nya no na presiding officers wo returning officer wo na NDC agent nso wo etinye kwa na account electoral commission na edikandi ho dance na me say ka tell say eye 11th June electoral commission letterhead omwa so sa chwa ka ta de be MPP eye Mr. Samotete deputy chairman operations ne sa chase o Simon Chairman omwa na sai ade atuja. So far, a total of 34 polling station results have been collated since the High Court directive. Currently, 3 polling stations are outstanding for the completion of the collation process. It's Edena. Almost in a day now, almost the commission has on several occasions made efforts to complete the collation process. Unfortunately, the police has not been able to provide the required security for the completion of collation process. There have been several engagements between the commission and the police for the completion of the collation process since the High Court directive. In the court, check collation. And I'm one side to cut out. The police for them and for ban bonum there. No more the Omaya who set train Akano, or make it any no medical. It's a year dang your quadra sorry, ya. Here we say, don't get ya say, Yabeshe, near Electoral Commission Funti. I'm a Muabesho Mumwa, and Nuntino, or Makwa, you can see away, say Nuntia, Quacotuaba, our 19 police stations, Yentiasi or China, democracy, and the Yachina also. Where you are there, Yentiasi, you can't say a lawyer for Silko Court.
Nanabi, and no statement on the buy and some of my reason and Tomakuma.
I'm reason on the buy no class, Damrama, some reason almost say. I do go to Makasa and say, a young prince kit now, yet the year collation, not almost presiding officers, nipping the return officers, nipping. I am truth, say, a year Mr. Bossman, who call parliament, or can say, all the collation in now from year, and I'm presiding officer and return officer for. It's in trouble, no. It's where the I said, way you walk away from the Telecom, and you will video dinner. You're a bossman at the parliament. Now, all country parliament, all my update on Ablukumanov. What can say, and you ma, college no me in now. Now, I'm a presiding officers or and I'm return officers for. Then you now, okay, or parliament. It didn't answer.
And he says, no, Manamonto, what can say my lawyer for? Masha say.
Oh, any year.
Oh, okay.
That brand new years and two for Munano. No one's on 9 is a court.
Yo, and law, yeah, that's the young fan community. They be PF my baby. You better ask. Amen. Nana B, national organizer, Emma NPP Amanyukono, lawyer Henry Boachi, and Nana Boachi, or no, and not Meneno Ebo and Komwe. Yanko and Senfu for Emo. Amaneboa Eto Dra HS Joint National Security Task Force, and a gold board, one more task force, a carbon, or much China for Makumaku Edu, or Mushe Sumasi, or Muni license, and Womudi Sikako, gold Huja, a Tony, a Tonsa, and Yamuki take it a gold bass in Yana Ekao, and Penny for a draw.
Despite this grace time opportunity we gave, there are still foreigners in the market who are actively buying gold. They have only changed their strategy and the mode of their operations. So we have intensified intelligence gathering. We have a lot of intelligence officers deployed across Ghana, and we know where these foreigners are hiding. Most of them are operating in private residences, their homes, which they have turned into illegal gold trading, facilities. And some are also hiding in hotels, illegally buying gold. And once they buy the gold, no foreigner can sell gold to the gold board. No foreigner can sell gold to an aggregator of the gold board. So the only thing they do is to smuggle the gold. Now, less than 48 hours after our press conference, only this week, where we took the pain to once again explain the new licensing regimes and the fact that foreigners can no longer trade in gold, we got solid intelligence from our informants on the ground that there were a number of Chinese, about 10 of them, who were hiding somewhere in Asenkrigwa in the western region. They were hiding in a private residence, and they were actively buying gold to smuggle out of Ghana. And so we deployed the Gold Board Task Force, which is, of course, yet to be inaugurated, but is currently working on an ad hoc basis in conjunction with the National Security Secretariat. And under the cover of darkness, the sins of these 10 Chinese found them out. We busted them at their base, arrested all of them, and during the operations we were able to seize gold. So we got gold of about 1.3 kg. We got cash of about 1.3 million, and we got a lot of what they call casino cars. I don't like casinos, but I'm just being educated that these are casino cars, and this is money. So what they do is that they convert the money into casino cars, and they had 2 huge safes. The safes are down there. If you want to take pictures of that, the relevant officers will facilitate for you to take pictures. They had 2 huge safes in which they were keeping not the money, not the gold, but the casino cars. So it does appear that the casino cars are very, very valuable and important to these Chinese. And we have cause to believe that is a scheme of money laundering they have employed to cover their tracks and to make sure that they are able to take gold and the proceeds of their illegal gold trading and smuggling activities out without the security agencies detected that.
Yadikasian eko emrashebedwem yamane bofo osi anem ewo ho eye Bernard ato ata ye kone nchei na de atia ne se osoafo hwe nkitaudie onsam eso Honorable Samnate George Afren Central for nhyiamudie hedi nsem bi ato edwa Bernard ewo hoi ye betuni nyina ben mai
ya na o
bibi aboko
yakofo adom
hwehwem kakra adana koso a osoafo edi ato dwa
You, information ministry.
Okay, information ministry.
Communications minister. Or the what the media was Busunia Sambiano, or Beba no be no many at Ghana for and a more the ministry no and an share no AD at the Abua Ghana for in Kitahudi Honsem. Mobile for your data sending any more motor data no near the Maya. Ni adwuma horo a aban eyusu de ye yankran kwasu eyusu de ye se ne be ya obia ho ebeto no fan na enche bia na oye sa nhyiemu ibako e wo na so ye na odi tu mu se Ghana for e complain ana so mo boso mo bebre se ye data ye yusu bi internet ye de information ye de send your stories ni ade no aya na ne boarding enti no oyi mobile operators no oni on be kasa Oba no chere say wa hye eye enu eye twa mu eye 1st July omo hye say adwumaku a eye MTN omo de no data na eye to no value that nya audit ka beto no emuduro ana say adwuma dodo e beboa mo aye no omo hye mu kina na odi o hye to omo so say omo de no omo mpege mu nko 15% ena omo maka no so eye 10% na odi betudwa enne actually nse for ensemase actually say oma ya ade so mu nyina no oma comply adiatum na omudi sa adwuma omo de nia ekoba kakra no say no network MTN no utri kakra bae na ni mechi no oma san asese bibia kama bibia ko support nti no wada omase na mum nka say mu ne nsembisa ebisa na ne answer de man no wa kire say obebo madia se obema ya hwehwem na ne ma sa de ne ko bae no eno so emu ada ho fenchem eguso a okasa no se enya no kwa na ye hwe infrastructure nioma akadia ni mfidie ni ade omudi ye adwuma no obema modi an wa hwe na eno so no ma tutu ni onya na bibia akofa yen o kire mu se eno kwa enso no ma oba ba bi ti se sense the DSTV so a what is a man for complaining for say ne boarding o se na due ya oni mpinifo efi South Africa e ba edisia oni omo ebe transfer obi make of Ghana for bo say obi make sure so be fi meeting na se no so oni omo akasa ama nkeso aba omudwumadi mu o kire say 5G internet ye ko bia ne ye ko ye ni message 2 3 4 ye ko ye nim no aban eni enimdiefo kasa ama omguso omototo ni oma enche bia no bibia be koso thought ya na mon bia ye umutu ama sector no eni omo mu yusu edi ye o maka bia no speed na umunya no ebekọ n'enim ama wakyerɛ sɛ ɔbaa sɛ ɛnyɛ kafete na ɔbɛka na ɔne n'aban ɔmaba sɛ ɔmo bɛyɛ adwuma na ɔde ahyɛ hɔ sɛ aban papa abasa ɛna na ɔka ogu so ɔkasa no sɛ mahodo no deɛ na ɛdɔɔso na ɔka sɛ sisi a radio yɛ ananse yɛ ɛtutu mi ɔse na ɛnyɛ radio 62 pɛ ɛna ɔmo hyɛ ne down ɔse na ɛbɛboro bɛyɛ 200 na ɔmo consider bi mu no na kyerɛ sɛ 62 no na ɔmo asɛm ɔden paa ɔse saa time no ɔmampanin sɔre gyina because na yɛ Father's Day time na ɔmo Father's Day present ɔse bra yɛ kasa yi radio station 62 no emu 18 pɛ aka 9 days na 30 days na ɔmampanin di ma ɔmo sɛ yɛ ma ɔmo na ɔmo toto ɔmo nneɛma yie no aka 9 days na so ɔmo mu 18 pɛ ɛna a comply etu ho anam ɔmo kora ɔmo wie yɛ nti ɔmo wie no abɛyɛ sɛ ama ɔmo ndefua aduasa sɛ ɔmo fa ntu saa anamɔ no ɔmo fa nsɛ no ɔmo yɛ ni na ɔmo show sign biara ne deɛ ɔka asisu dia sɛ 30 days ne so a function bi ɛwɔ hɔ ma na sa so twe bi ɛwɔ biara ne ɛbɛma ɔmo ɔde ma ɔmo wie a mo bia ngyina baabi a mɛka sɛ sɛbi obi yɛ bɛyifoɔ ne yɛ taataa no which one ne ɔmo ka na which chance ne bi ɛno deɛ ebi wɔ kwan na sɛ ɔyɛ bɛyifoɔ nkwa deɛ a yɛbɛ which chance o asɛm baako ɔsan bɛtu dwa sɛ sɛbi ɔmo ne foreign affairs edi nsawosoɔ na foreign affairs nse bia na owura okudeta baasa de bɛtu dwa sɛ as part of 24-hour service no o passport plan no yɛ a obetumi atena baabi a ɔte bia na yɛ de abrɛw na ɔsɛ nyɛ ɔmo hu ne sɛ ebi mu asati complain so kasa na ɔmo kasa ɔmo nyɛ adwuma ɔsɛ nyɛ ɔmo hu ɔhwehwɛ me hu ne sɛ passport no ɔmo de kɔ ebi mu fie a ɛfɛ ɔmo bɛkɔ no mmara ne kyerɛ sɛ yɛba a na sɛ owura obi mpɛ ne passport a ɛwɔ sɛ yɛba ne yɛfrɛ wɔ a owura obi mpɛ n'ankasa ba na ɔde ne passport ne picture ba no identify on the man. The woman who say most of the people no because they are so many members of you. Apply through Guru boys. If you say over corona, what basta or the idea will be intense, will be no issue. Now, we should name. Of him, none amount as almost almost only panel, just almost 90 office. And now, my first after almost almost on what say, no year, no more near the board. I said, the running session from a third party, which almost sign. It's a courier service for this woman a lot of them are not licensed. It's also can't come for say. Well, person we say money with the I resume the banner fine your banner. Make sure to be registered business because NTBA about make sure that our phone operating without license. The BGO move in at your African. Ọ̀pọ̀ mpamfo bebree a ọmọ ní ọmọ edi dwuma abaso bi sẹ cyber security fọ a ọmọ tu anamọ akpati nkọfọ bi wọ tẹma ntabate mu hɔnom asẹbi ọmọ tu retrieve mobile phone baako ma bɛyɛ 4,000 from them a sẹbi ọmọ nyinaa ọmọ didi amanfo nya ọmọ stakeholders ni bebree a ọmọ bọ ọmọ ɛma anamọ ọmọ tu no etumi akɔ yie no ɔkyerɛ sɛ ɔda ọmọ ase na emom ọmọ rest on their oars they will make sure sɛ anamọ bi ọmọ bɛtu ama communication sector no ejina ne na so mo provide service no ayo adie mo amoso mo de service no mo tumi nya kadia de ho faso no obetu na no waye ne efatabia ene obebri ene odi tu egem na efi mrate ekwan ye nim no mredi won no ye betu ye bo ne yi no makoma kwa chechirim akyere Ghana fo nyina
Bernard Atrata Imammo ene adwuma o Yamane bofue esi anem mrahye bedwam ono ena ode amaneboy ebai meka wo sekase wo hwe ena utie ewo United Television eso ye worship house Abeka Junction enkran ye beje nkrato ye ba bongo difara agopama so ensem ye nkomra sisia